Thinking.
Stated, okay.
I haven't done the recorder person.
Sorry.
I haven't done the recorder, she's holding it. But I can search. Cater from the Zoom. Should be good.
We have,
Well, let me double check, but yeah. Yep.
okay, all right, I call the meeting to order. Approval of minutes for September 15th, any questions? Not there's motion to accept. Second, all in favor, say aye. Approval of claims for October the 6th. Questions? Not, no motion to accept. That's second, all in favor, say. Under old business, okay, this is the road name change on County Road 300 West. Notice of approval.
Yeah, I just wanted you guys to approve the legal notice that I would be putting in the paper. That has the hometown road, and then we'll have the public hearing. And then you can pass it or not, but I just wanted your approval of this legal notice. I've got the hearing set for November 3rd.
Okay. Any questions on this? Not done the motion to proceed. Other, second, all in favor, say aye. Okay, health department generator. You wanna talk about that?
Yeah, so Kyler and I went and looked at the electric service. And the quote that we got, looks like it would be appropriate to move forward with that. With the gas or electric, that was the cheaper quote, so.
Do you remember the cost of that, right?
That's expired now, but I'm sure that he won't.
It was a 57.
So,
So I'll get an updated quote. Or, and then go forward.
yeah. So we probably need an update, unless they will.
Yeah, unless the.
They may have heard
this, but yeah. we can get the details.
Okay, so you guys okay getting the updated quote to look forward and
Yeah.
correct that?
Well, if he keeps it the same price, do I need? If he keeps it the same, can we just go ahead and move forward?
I'm okay.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay, it's fine. Thank you.
I'll motion to accept the original quoted price.
No, sorry, listen, all in favor, say aye. Okay. Now, if it's more than that, you're gonna have to give a little approval.
Hey, I also have preparedness stuff here today. Do you
Yeah,
think we're just gonna go ahead and take this on?
why don't you come out and talk about it?
Okay.
So after Lana resigned, we thought about not continuing it, but it's $20,000. So we figured we could come together and take care of it. So I think, well, I've been nominated to be the head of this, and then Amanda's gonna be my backup.
Okay, tell us what that job does.
Well, a lot of it's online now, so there's not as much travel. Before you had to go to every meeting and they had them located in different places, but now a lot of it's online. So most of it's virtual. It's very little. Very little. And the $20,000 is the same, it's spent the same way it always has been. I mean, obviously for preparedness. So.
Okay,
Natalie,
Mhm.
time that a lot of that money went to pay that preparedness person.
It will not.
Okay.
It will not. I mean, unless you guys want it to. So it'll go towards just things that are needed in the county for generators or anything related to emergency preparedness.
So it's not paid.
No,
okay, well, good, thanks.
I mean, yeah, no problem. And then I'll send, do you just want me to send you an email and have you all sign it? Is that the best way to do that? The contract?
It
It has to go through.
yeah.
Has to go through a meeting. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Okay,
I sent it to her.
all right, that sounds great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is it the same?
It is. Yeah, yeah. I didn't really know how that.
Yeah, it's usually like anyway, because they just don't give it to us till.
Yeah, I just,
Got that.
that's why I'm. slamming
Yeah,
on you
it's-
guys.
it's kind of overthrown.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all the old business, new business, I hear from Paul's.
I'm here.
Oh, actually, come on up.
I got Brian right here.
No, I didn't see you back there. Come on, have a seat.
So
Just stand by.
If you can have a seat. that-
So. We've had some situations I get probably everyone's heard of from Paul's. We had kind of a courting situation about, I think it was 3 weeks ago. So I know we've had what, 3 or 4 of these, I think just this year, so. I wish I could say this is gonna be the last one, but unfortunately, it's probably not gonna be the last one. And, I wish we could come up with a plan of a better way maybe to handle this, cause it's it's just kind of a bad thing. Like these dogs, thankfully, 14 of them were able to be signed over, which is really positive. But the way it happened was just not the best situation, I don't think. I just feel like no one kind of knows what to do. Maybe that's the best way to put it. These dogs, all had really bad health concerns when we all got them to the vet. The one we got now had, muscle deterioration. He did have cancer, which was removed. And a couple of them that went to Vincent's did come in and take 10 dogs, which we're very thankful. We got some really good relationships, but a couple of them had neurologic disorders, from being hit in the head, they assumed, and they're unable to be moved at this time. But I do have some pictures to show, and these dogs, pretty much weren't being fed. They were in cages, we feel like about 2 years, and we were unable to open the doors of these pens. They were so far embedded in the ground. It's just a really bad, not only hoarding, but I feel like abuse situation. And when these happen, it's kind of like it's out there and nobody knows where to go to get these animals help. And that's where I would like to maybe come up with a better solution as to where do we go to get the animals help and where do we go? I'm not saying to get the person in trouble, but where do we go to get this to stop? Cause maybe we did take these animals away, but how do we get this to not happen again? This person to not, go get 40 more dogs again. So, I mean, I live with my heart. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. But my heart goes to help the animals, but where does this stop? Like, because to get this person to not bring 40, 50 more dogs in Pike County and overwhelm the shelters again. Because, I know I go to the sheriff's department, I don't know, their hands are tied, they don't know what to do, and they do their best. I'm not saying that. I feel like they do, but no one really knows what to do when it comes to the animal side. I kind of feel like, or as to, can we charge them? Can we not? And I wish I could say it's gonna stop, but it's not gonna stop. And I feel like we need to somehow get a better protocol or find out what we do to move forward. Because these animals, they were in very bad shape, physically, mentally. And, another counties did come in, Gibson Animal Control Officer did talk to the lady. The animals were in Pike. So that's where the animals were contained. The lady lived in Oakland City. So the animal control officer talked to her home, talked to her in her home, but the animals were in Pike. Vincent's came in and took a big part of them, and then, an animal trainer from Jasper actually came in and was able to talk with her and thankfully to get her to turn over 14 of the dogs. Which there's still some large dogs and horses that are in very bad shape, on the grounds, but although this is over, what's gonna happen when it pops up? When it pops up again, and I just want everyone to try to work together, so,
Have you started working on a plan or anything?
well,
We're
yeah.
not- This is not our expertise.
Right.
So,
Right, so,
I did talk to a few of the deputies, and they're they're kind of like, it's hard for us because this isn't our expertise. I did go to the prosecutor, and obviously they need to write up from the sheriff's department, so it kind of goes back and forth there. So I'm doing my best because this isn't my expertise either, because I care about the animals. So I'm trying to go back and forth. And then I did, try to contact like PETA and Humane World. I'm a volunteer with them, but then when my calls go out, I don't hear back from them because I feel like once I reach out, it stops at that point. I don't know who they contact past them, so I'm trying my best as far as what I know to do. And when I hear from them, they're like, the other counties, they do have someone that deals with animals, I feel like, that's able to put laws in action, that are able to issue tickets. And when I say that, if people have to pay money, they're more likely not to do this again because people don't want to pay fines.
So I don't know what an animal control officer would do any differently than a county sheriff.
Right. And I think from what I hear, like I said, I'm not the expert either, but when I guess their time is more devoted to animals, where our sheriff's department, they have other calls. Like when I went Tuesday and talked to an officer, he's like, I'm going right out there. I'm checking on these animals. I will give you a call back tonight. When I went and checked up the next week, I said, I never got a call back on Tuesday. And they said, well, he had a more important call, but that Tuesday never happened. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it never happened at all. I'm not blaming anybody at all, obviously, but it just got forgotten. So I feel like when we have someone devoted to that, they know the laws better, they know the rules better, they're able to issue citations, tickets. And I don't know if someone in our sheriff's department could be devoted to that, possibly. Maybe it's something we need to look into. But if stuff happens and there are no, say, punishment, I assume it's just gonna keep happening and happening and happening, and there's not gonna be any in sight, and it's still gonna remain a problem. And maybe someone with some more law authority can tell you more obviously than I can, because I'm just, I'm trying to learn more. But I feel like something in sight needs to happen to try to put a stop to it, to try to decrease the numbers, to try to decrease the animals going into the shelter. Would be my thought.
It looks like PETA needs to help you a lot.
Yeah. And when I asked PETA, they say, we try to work with the law enforcement in the county, and I even emailed and asked, can I get a follow-up? And I don't get anything back from them. So I kind of feel like I don't know what to do at that point. Now, when I talked to, I believe it was Humane World, I get the two confused because I think they interact with each other. They did tell me they offer free classes for a sheriff's department. If they would be willing, and that helps them be able to know the animal laws more and to work side by side with them, if that's something they're willing to do.
Talk to the sheriff about
I have not talked to JK personally since. Okay. But Humane World, now I do work with them and I take trips out on the East Coast with them. And they're a wonderful organization. They go all across the United States. But they said in that case, they work hand in hand. They help them know the animal laws better. And that if there's big hoarding cases, they can come in and help them know how to take care of the animals better. Because as you know, we got room for 20-something dogs and we're at 35 right now. And our best efforts to get these animal homes, it's very hard right now. We're running adoption specials, we're trying to do events, and it's hard.
So it sounds like, and just what you said.
Yeah.
Well, the gray area is we can send officers to training, but if I pull up to a residence, the
Mhm.
way I treat my dogs compared to the way you treat your dogs, you may consider me being abusive. So
Right.
that's really gray area of what's abusive and what's not.
Right. But if you don't mind, if I don't care, just show you this, hold on here. Sorry, I got a lot of pictures here. There's one, the pictures are hard because it was pretty dark in here. Unfortunately, the lady that had the, like, I don't know, you probably can't see. I'll show you. for a minute. This is what the food bowls look like for an entire. I don't consider that probably what you call food. So. Yeah. You know, like, I mean, I understand what we all consider different. But that right there is probably what none of us would consider, you know. And there was no food, no water, no food on site. So, and I'm very open to what my dog probably has luxury to what, you know, but that right there, I don't think would probably be acceptable to anybody. And you know, some of the dogs were unable to stand. So I think like this case is probably to anybody is not acceptable in any terms.
Would you continue? Talk to JK about this, since he is sending officers to training.
Absolutely. I would be open to help in any way.
And you guys can work your board, can work on a plan. Like you said, it's not ever gonna end.
It's never gonna end.
Never. But if you can control it, that's great.
I would just like a way to, when this comes up, for it to not, you know, and for us to have a positive light in our county that we are, you know, because we've got some really good connections with the other counties and even Evansville. VHS, they messaged me personally saying, how can we help with the dogs? And I want them to know that positively we are really helping, you know, doing the best we can and keep all those connections. Cause like within an hour, I had those 14 dogs out. And, you know, I feel like that's such a positive thing that we need to keep with our overpopulation in the shelter right now. So.
Keep us informed, work with JK, work with the sheriff department, and maybe you guys come up with some sort of plan as well, but work with the sheriff department.
Absolutely. I appreciate your time. Thank
Okay,
you.
Thanks. Okay, moving on, this was the OPA agreement amendments on County Road 100.
These are just project, they changed the project end date, but we extended our letting date, so it's just to get our dates back under contract,
And when is the late date again?
February.
All right, do you have a motion to go ahead and approve these changes? Have a second? Second. All in favor, say aye. Okay, next is the approval to advertise for bids, 26 materials and supplies.
We didn't change anything. I sent it out to Josh. He's happy with it the way it is. So the only thing I changed were the dates. So this will go in the paper the next time out, and then we will open bids on November 3rd.
Do you have a motion to go ahead and advertise for, for material supplies? Have a second? All in favor, say aye. Okay, we have a EMS transfer. We have 3 of those.
So we've got 3 transfers. First one is 500 from laundry and cleaning to office supplies. Second one is, well, for that, I've got some office supplies that I need to purchase, run sheets, envelopes, that kind of thing before the end of the year. 200 from volunteer runs to cell phones. That's just gonna be what I think we're gonna be short till the end of the year. And then 7,000 from paramedic to medical supplies. We were short in that this year, and we still got bills and still got stuff we're gonna need to buy before the end of the year.
Okay, go ahead, Chris. No, it's have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Thank you.
Resignation on extension office manager.
Yep, Tiffany resigned, and we are currently accepting, well, I think she had the deadline today for applications. We started interviews last week.
Okay.
So.
Okay,
I've already gotten 11 applicants.
really?
Yeah. So yeah, application closes today, and then I know we have another one today, and trying to make this as fast as possible. With myself and, Chloe, the other educator in our office, we have vacation, a lot of things coming up where we'll be out of the office doing programming in schools. So I want someone hopefully in our office sooner rather than later. So, yep.
Okay. All right,
And
thank you.
Chrissy already has the resignation for Tiffany as well. So her last day was this past Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Not sure, Val didn't have this in his packet, so I don't know if I missed it.
What's that?
The WTH, the next one,
Okay.
you have it.
Yeah. I got it.
Oh, okay, okay,
Okay,
good.
good. Okay, WTH limited use request, this is Du Bois REC.
Yep, standard request for using the layers in WTH, so.
Any questions? Good, motion accept. Have a second. All fair side. Business Pike Commissioners phone system license upgrades.
Yep, so the system license, that is an annual fee that we always pay. They quoted us $6.59 this year. That's just to keep the updates and the security updates and everything with our phone system computer in line. So I will need an approval on that. But also he told me, he is Darren with AME, that computer is gonna need to be upgraded. It's not going to keep up with these updates. And so, he gave me a quote for a computer. There is the option to go to the cloud if we want to in the future, but right now, since we signed the agreement with Sparklight, they do not support the cloud, so it has to be the computer, so we will have to get it. I'm gonna get a quote from Monday as well on the computer, but I'll need to know the exact specifics of what. So I don't want the upgrade, I don't need that, decided on today. But the quote he gave, you can see it's in there, it's $16.50, and that's for the computer and mostly labor. So I am gonna get another quote for that before we move on that, but I do need the license upgrade, so I can go ahead and pay for that. Or the license maintenance fee, sorry.
Any questions for Christie? There a motion to go ahead and approve this license and upgrade. Got a second? Let's second. All fair side. Mosquitoes. Anybody want to talk about mosquitoes?
Well,
They're annoying. Yeah, they are, aren't they?
we added that when we got the positive, West Nile on the mosquitoes, not the hurting people, as far as I know.
No,
You can correct me, Natalie, if, but we did have a positive on the mosquitoes, some testing, and so I just did. Don't give me any updates, or.
Yeah. It doesn't look like our sprayer is. Jeff, you said it, our
Yeah,
sprayer is
that-
the size of a shoebox, so.
we don't have anybody.
And plus, we don't have anybody licensed, right? So. Brandon worked under. Amanda, or. was it-
Okay.
Yeah, Kay. For the license, so she's no longer there, so.
So maybe, he might wanna consider taking the test and then he. Not to speak for Brandon, but I mean, that might be an option.
I think the health board needs to come up with a plan and
Somebody to.
a budget and whatever. That sprayer is not adequate at all. It looks like. I'm no expert, but I've been watching YouTube videos in other counties and what we have is.
Oh, gosh, we've had that. I don't.
I don't think it does anything. I think it does nothing. I think it's just nothing. I think it's a waste of time and effort.
Well, the spraying is, it's an immediate reaction, so that's for your fairs and things like that, you know, you have to go the night before and spray. But the larvicide is where you're ahead of the game, so if you get the larvicide out first, it's good for 3 months, it kills the larvae and all that, so. I mean,
But regardless, I think they should follow the hand of the health department. Board.
Can you talk to your board about that?
about a new machine or about finding someone to,
The whole deal,
Everything.
a plan.
Plan, yeah.
I mean,
Just a plan.
I think the struggle is too, it's not a great position. I mean, you have to go out late at night, the temperature has to be just right. There's a lot to it. So then, when it comes to figuring an hourly wage on that, it's kind of been a struggle in the past too, so,
Understand.
yeah.
But that's between the board and the council.
Yes, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Okay, so you'll talk to your board about,
Yes, we have a meeting on the 27th, so I'll add it to the agenda.
all right, thank you. Trash sites, leases, Christie,
This is, the same. I have not changed anything except the dates. This would be the trash site leases for Otwell, Stendal, and Co. Winslow's, somehow we got off, it's not due till next year. But they're 3-year leases, like I said, just changing oh, I'm sorry, there is a change. Stendal has asked for, $750 instead of $500. I did mention this earlier to you guys before we did the budget, so I went ahead and put that amount in the budget. So that, I did change that in the lease, so the amount per Stendal would change. That hasn't changed since I've been here. I don't know when those were even set, late 90s, I'm gonna assume, but, $750 a year isn't. So, other than that, it's just changing the years, they're 3-year leases, and then I'll go ahead and sign, get these sent out and let them sign them before I bring it back to you guys for signatures.
we have to approve this.
Yeah, if you could approve it before I send them out, just the terminology and the writing.
Do I have a motion to approve all 3 leases, including the $250 increase instead of? Have a second, second, all fair side. Okay, and the transfers.
So, the seated transfer is $890 into professional service, that's just to finish paying Baker Tilly for redevelopment divisions. Documentation, the TIF visualization worksheets, they help us with everything throughout the year. So that's to pay them, and then the other one in Coon Cap is just Jeff's laptop needed a new battery. So it's just to pay that out of Coon Cap, out of the money that the council had appropriated this year for infrastructure and technology.
Wait. Any questions? Do I have a motion to approve all transfers? Next second, all fair say aye. Christie, anything else?
If you want an update on the tech pointing, Universal Design was here last week. They said as far as the grinding, they would consider it 90% done. The only thing that's pretty much left is the main entrance side of the building that they're working the Saturdays on, when people aren't coming in. As far as the actual tuck pointing and filling in, he said they're probably at about 20%. So that's moving slower. But overall, they're still plugging along.
Problems with dust anymore.
I haven't heard anything. They've done very little grinding, honestly. That's pretty much all done. Like I said, they've been doing around the main entrance, but that's on Saturdays. So I haven't had any complaints.
Where are we on the handrail?
They actually dry fitted it last week. I have a conversation going on between ADA coordinators right now, actually, with that, because there may be a slight change we have to make with that. Apparently, when you get to the bottom, the extension is supposed to be equal to a stair tread. Well, our stair treads, those are not normal stairs, so they're like 4 feet. On a ramp, it has to be 12 inches out. It's 12 inches at the top. However, you're not supposed to protrude into a walkway. So that goes into the sidewalk. So I have actually, right now, it's coming out 8 inches, which was a happy medium between the 12 and the stair. Sometimes they said there's just a gray area. You're never going to, because it was all here to begin with. But I don't want to get it in place and then have to change it. So I'm trying to find out from, I called the ADA hotline and they are closed because of the government shutdown. So I have reached out to our state ADA group. So far I've only gotten 2 responses and they're unsure, but they did give me, another email to try that they think is still working. So I'm going to try that, just to try to get a solid, but besides that, the rest of the design, it looks great, it's ready to go. We're just trying to get a determination on that extension out to the sidewalk first. But, and then they'll be, as soon as we make that decision, they'll be powder coated and. Yeah, so they'll be sent off for that, but it looks great, we just gotta figure out exactly the size of that extension.
Okay, thanks. Anything else? Josh?
Well, we got 4 more moves on the pavement and then, we'll be done. So, yeah, we're back developing Otwell, 400 across from Blackbees and, 950. So then we'll be wrapped up with community crossings. I did have Terry Brown reach out to me. He lives on 775 West. He wants to pay to do a section in front of his house. It's 1,305 foot, comes up to 40,896. And, but you guys has got to approve it in the meeting. I talked to Val, so I need an approval for us to be able to lay this for him. He is going to write the check, directly to the asphalt. So,
It's a parent road. Okay.
Yeah.
It works for private.
yeah, it's not that we gotta have any interlocal agreement or anything, it's gonna just be him paying for it and us laying it. So,
When would you start this? As soon as we're done?
as soon as we're done with community crossings, so we'll just get the road ready and go down there and try to get it laid. So.
Is there culverts in that area?
We may have to change a couple, but it's mostly on a hill, so it's, how it's set up. It might grab one pipe, that'd be about it. So right at the intersection. So,
He talked like he might want to do a little bit more sometime too, right?
yes, yeah. Yeah, he's got,
At least he's
he's got to
paying for it.
spend before the end of the year, so.
Guys, okay with that?
Terry, I mean,
I do have a motion to have Josh go ahead and pave this road for Terry Brown. Sorry, it's like, oh, there's that.
also, October 16th, from 6 to 9, we'll be closing the road in front of Paul's. We'll just be putting up barricades. And this is for them to have that Jordan Way 50 state national tour fundraiser. So they're having some kind of fundraiser there. And Ashley reached out to myself, and then, so we'll be putting up barricades, closing it, and we'll close it at 300 also. The road closed, so nobody makes a trip all the way down there. But it'd just be for 3 hours, and then we also got the light plants donated. So we'll have light plants and so. Other than that, we're just ready to get back to regular maintenance, so.
Have you heard about the solar company closing county roads upon themselves when they want to move equipment?
I have, but it's been for short periods. Yeah, I've had people call me when they've been stopped in the road and on the phone with me, and then they'll say, well, never mind, they're letting us go through. So I've had it both ways, but I haven't heard anything in long periods of times. So. If they do, I mean, they know that they're not supposed to do that, so. Saturday, I had them clean 300 on Saturday, come through there. And made a phone call, and they had a broom out there, and they cleaned it, but I haven't heard any complaints lately. So.
Okay, anything else? Judy?
State audit starts today. They say it should take 4 to 5 minutes.
Chris? Kyle?
Nope.
Any business by public? All right, if not, then a motion to adjourn. Or second, let's think of, I'll better say aye. Okay, we do have another meeting right after this. Well, yeah, so.